On the quiet morning of December 17, 1967, Australia awoke to a headline so shocking that it stopped the nation in its tracks. The Prime Minister had vanished. Not resigned, not retired, not even taken ill. He had disappeared without a trace into the deep, unpredictable waters off the coast of Victoria. In the hours that followed, confusion turned to disbelief, and disbelief turned into a wave of fear and speculation that would grip the nation for decades. Harold Holt, Australia's 17th Prime Minister, was no stranger to the public eye. He was charismatic, athletic, and confident. The kind of leader people expected to see in Parliament, not on a missing persons list. Yet, that Sunday, as the sun cast its golden light across Cheviot Beach near Portsea, Holt stepped into the surf and was never seen again. What began as a carefree swim quickly spiraled into one of the most baffling mysteries in political history. Within minutes of Holt's disappearance, urgent calls went out to local authorities. Soon, the coastline was swarming with rescue teams. More than 50 divers, naval personnel, police officers, and hundreds of volunteers, all focused on a single mission: find the nation's leader. Helicopters scanned the waves from above, while rescue boats combed the waters. On the beaches, searchers paced the sand, hoping for a sign. But as hours stretched into days, hope began to fade. The official line was simple: Harold Holt had drowned. But almost immediately, whispers began. Whispers that refused to die.
To understand why his disappearance became a breeding ground for theories, we need to step back and look at the man himself.
Harold Edward Holt was born in Sydney in 1908 and later moved to Melbourne, where his competitive spirit took root. He climbed the political ladder steadily, earning respect within the Liberal Party for his sharp mind and unwavering dedication. In 1966, after years in Parliament, he reached the pinnacle of Australian politics, becoming Prime Minister. Holt's leadership style was marked by strong pro-Western alliances. He was a staunch supporter of the United States and one of the loudest voices backing Australia's participation in the Vietnam War. This position brought him both loyal supporters and fierce critics. But outside of politics, Holt was known for something else. His deep love of the ocean. He was an avid swimmer, a snorkeler, and a man who felt at home in the waves. He had swum in those very waters countless times. So why, on that December day, did the ocean seem to claim him so suddenly? That Sunday, Holt was at Cheviot Beach with a small group of friends, including his close friend Arthur Jones. The weather, by most accounts, was calm. Moderate waves, light breeze around 12:15 p.m. The group walked to the beach, changed into swimwear, and entered the water. They snorkeled in the shallows for a while before Holt decided to push further out into deeper waters. From here, eyewitness accounts begin to diverge in a way that still puzzles investigators today. Some claimed they saw Holt struggling against a powerful current, possibly caught in a rip. Others insisted he was swimming strongly, exactly as he always did, before simply vanishing from sight. How could the accounts differ so drastically, given the small number of witnesses? Cheviot Beach itself is a secluded spot, its shoreline shaped by unpredictable tides and powerful undercurrents. The waves can be deceptively calm on the surface but treacherous underneath. Even so, Holt was no novice. His friends described them as confident and capable in the water. And yet, moments after they last saw him, he was gone. News of his disappearance spread like wildfire. By 3 p.m., the entire country was aware that their Prime Minister was missing. The rescue operation became the largest in Australian history. Up to that point, divers scoured every possible location where a body might have drifted. Boats patrolled the coastline. On land, hundreds of searchers combed the cliffs and coves. But despite the scale of the effort, not a single piece of definitive evidence was found. No clothing, no equipment, and most mysteriously, no body. This absence of physical evidence was unsettling. In most drowning cases, remains are eventually recovered, or at least debris is found. But in Holt's case, it was as though the ocean had swallowed him whole. The political fallout was immediate, with the Prime Minister presumed dead. Governor Lord Casey was forced to navigate the constitutional crisis. Deputy Prime Minister John McEwen was sworn in as acting Prime Minister, but the leadership vacuum within the Liberal Party set off a fierce power struggle. The media, which had initially focused on the search effort, soon shifted its attention to the political chessboard. Who would lead the country, and would Holt's disappearance change the course of Australian politics? Meanwhile, speculation about what had happened began to take on a life of its own. Theories ranged from the mundane to the extraordinary. The official explanation: accidental drowning, seemed straightforward, but conflicting eyewitness reports and the total absence of a body left room for doubt. Some whispered that Holt had been taken by a shark, though no witnesses reported fins or thrashing in the water. Others pointed to the possibility of a freak wave or powerful rip current pulling him under in seconds. And then there were the more sensational claims. One theory suggested that Holt, who had known figures within British intelligence during his time as Minister for Labour and National Service, may have been involved in clandestine operation. Journalist Anthony Gray even published a book in 1983 titled "The Prime Minister Was a Spy," speculating that Holt might have been spirited away by submarine to carry out intelligence work. While this theory has little hard evidence, its intrigue kept it alive in public imagination. Another claim, equally controversial, was that Holt may have taken his own life. But friends, family, and medical professionals dismissed this, citing his energetic personality and love for life. His doctor confirmed that Holt had been advised to rest following shoulder surgery just days earlier, but nothing suggested a mental state that would lead to self-harm. The truth is, we may never know what happened in those final moments at Cheviot Beach. Whether it was a tragic accident, a secret mission gone wrong, or something stranger still, Harold Holt's disappearance remains one of Australia's most enduring mysteries decades later. People still visit the beach where it happened. They stand at the lookout, staring at the waves, wondering how a man, a prime minister, could vanish in plain sight on a bright summer day. The water moves endlessly, as if guarding its secret, and perhaps, somewhere beneath its surface, the answer still lies.